everybody, and welcome to the most exciting half hour, which today I believe is an hour, if you can stand it.
An hour.
The Geno Auriemma Show, an hour of you.
Double
I don't know
the
if
fun.
I can
Double
handle
the fun. Double the fun.
Double the torture.
Double the fun. We have a
live
audience.
studio audience. Yes, we're thrilled.
Let everybody at home know you're here. Come on, everybody. Yay!
All
There
right.
we go.
All right, that's the only applause we'll get today. So how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty good. So far, so good.
Good.
You know,
All right,
we're averaging one sprained ankle a day.
Yeah,
So,
what is this at the
I
end
would
of
say
the
in about
year?
2 weeks we'll have to suit up you and Debbie Bayer and anybody else who's in Connecticut. Wendy Davis, we'll bring them all out of retirement.
Yeah.
Rebecca, Kara, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That wouldn't be a bad team, come to think of it.
Yeah, it might be all right.
Yeah.
Although quite a few of us are pregnant, so that would be a problem.
No, well, that only makes you slightly slower than you were when you played. But at least you'd be able to double team somebody by yourself.
Oh. You just cracked yourself up.
I just cracked myself up.
All right. Well, we have a ton of highlights to get to and a
Let's
lot
go.
of good things to talk about. The Providence game is where we'll start.
Okay. Really? It's been that long?
Yeah. We have 3 games to
Wow.
talk about. We haven't had a show for a while, and we only have one more after this. So there's typical Mel.
Yeah. You know, when our guards play well, obviously I've been saying this all year long, basketball's a guards game. You know, when the guards play well, when they handle the ball well, when they shoot the ball well.
You weren't saying that when you had Kara and Rebecca inside, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Kara and Rebecca inside, they're worthless without Jen Rosati.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so you have to have good guard play in order to be a good team. And what we've been, there's a great play
It's
right
a great
there.
pass.
What we've been getting is for the most part, you know, Keisha,
Yeah,
right
there's a
there.
great little hesitation.
Yeah. You know, that's one of the big things that basketball players don't understand is changing speeds. It doesn't matter how fast you are. You have to be able to change speeds. You know, to me, that's a quality that not very many guards have.
Right.
So, like, if you're super fast, you know, like Keisha is, and the difference between Keisha this year and last year, if you're super fast and you go at that speed all the time, I try to equate it with the kids. It's like NASCAR or something.
Yeah.
You know, if you go 190 miles an hour, that's great on a straightaway. But if you try to turn, you're going to hit the wall. So
Right.
you got to be able to go fast, slow down, go fast, slow. You got to be able to change speeds to keep the defense off balance.
Right.
And that's what she's doing really, really well right now.
Like that play right there. Last year, she probably would have dribbled into the basket support.
Or hit somebody, or you know, just fall down, or you know, dribble out of bounds and then look around and go, oh, I went too far. You know. So we're getting really, really good guard play for the most part, and I think that's been the difference.
Very good. Well, I believe we have second half of the Providence game, which we can look at. Oh, we don't. Okay, I lied.
We don't.
But they're a much better team this year.
Much better.
I mean, it's
better.
astounding the difference that Phil Seymour has
Phil's
made.
done a great job. What they do is they shoot a lot of threes, which is what they have to do, because they're thinking that if we make some threes and we give up twos, we got a chance.
Right.
They're very deliberate on offense, so they don't let you have a lot of possessions, and they've been able to keep every game pretty competitive, and that's
they can
a
say
start.
for years past.
Yeah, that's a start. That's a start. They're heading in the right direction.
Well, you go out to Notre Dame against a team who is not having one of their better years, and you didn't have one of your better nights. But it was a good win. You know,
it's not easy to play at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You know, they sit in that zone all day long, and there's not much you can do
and
about it.
you played into their hands standing around.
Well, you know, the first half, we kind of windshield wiped it around the perimeter.
Yeah.
You know, we throw it inside every once in a while, and then we score, and then we go, that's too easy. So let's throw it around the perimeter for a while. And what you have to do against the zone is you have to attack quickly. You know, you got to move the ball quickly, because if you slow down and you let them get set, then it's very difficult all night long to try to beat that zone.
Right.
And I thought in the first half, that's a great play there at the end of the half. That's a great play at the end of the half. Great play. You know, and that's a lot of composure there by a freshman.
Who she just keeps showing more and more of it.
Yeah. See, now there you go. We get the ball inside more. Yeah. And that's Barbara, you know, and that's how she's got to play, you know. And then in transition, Ann Struther started making shots, and Wilnette Crockett the last couple games has been unbelievable.
She's an animal on the boards.
At getting people extra possessions. This was a great possession here. We really moved the ball well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I love the inside out. I mean, you had the side to side, inside out.
Yeah.
When you kick it from the inside.
Well, everybody touched the ball in that possession.
Yeah.
You know, and
Which doesn't happen
it
a
makes
ton.
it tough on the defense. And then there's Renee right there attacking the basket. We need to probably do more of that. We haven't done enough of that. But she's really good at this.
Yeah, she is stronger than she looks, you know, for a little kid.
Yeah. And you know what's really unique about Renee? Like, she can really go right. And then when she's really bottled up, she can really go right. You know, and then every once in a while, she'll throw you off and go right, you know.
So I have a feeling
she's got everybody fooled because they think any minute now she's going to go left. It's like, you know, you flip a coin and it comes up heads every time. Any minute now it's going to come up tails. Well, they're thinking she's going to go left, and she goes, yeah, and it was right. So we got to get
So perhaps in the off season she might be working on the left hand.
We got some work to do in that area. Getting her to, which is unusual because a lot of guards like going left to get their shot.
Yeah,
It
well,
really
Sue
is.
Bird did.
It's a lot easier going this way to get your shot than it is this way. For a lot of the guards.
Yeah.
Renee's, you know, going to have to really add that to her game, and she will.
Yeah.
She will.
I mean, I think it's impressive the way she has responded as a freshman, because you're tough on point guards anyway, and then to be a freshman, to take the weight on her shoulders and to see the way she's developed this year, it's pretty impressive.
It is, and what's been really impressive is she's done it even better on the road than she does at home, which is unusual. Most freshmen, if you know what the road routine is, especially when you play at night, and you get up in the morning, and most of the day they're like this, you know, and then they got to come and play. They don't know how to get themselves ready.
She's averaging like 16 points on the road in Big East games.
She's played great on the road. I think she's a rookie of the year in the league.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
But I'm not allowed to vote.
You can't vote for her.
Can't vote for her.
So, okay, so you go up to Syracuse, playing in the Dome for the first time, you know, since what, 83?
Yeah, and we were thrown for a loop. It snowed. And we weren't used to that up there. But what happened was, we get into the Dome, right? And I told the kids before the game, this is not going to be your typical, normal, you know, routine kind of game. The environment's different. You're playing in a 30,000-seat arena.
Like more like almost 50.
You know, and it's a goofy background to shoot at. So what we did was we said we have to be able to grind it out. And the whole first half, I thought, was just an exercise in futility. This is the second half.
Well, there were no highlights from the first half.
Exactly. That's a great play there. See, now if we can do more of that, that makes us a great team.
Yeah.
Like, we're a good team, but if we can get our guards attacking the basket in transition, like Kalena.
Yeah.
Kalena was icing her shoulder yesterday.
Oh, no.
And I said, you know, one of the problems is every time she catches the ball, she goes like this.
Did she have that dumb look on her face?
Yeah, because she's like, and I said, I think if you stop doing that, you won't throw your shoulder out. How about if you just catch it, dribble it, and shoot it? Oh,
there's a novel idea.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand some of the stuff that kids do, you know? I don't understand. Like, she's one that should catch the ball in the break and just go right to the basket every time.
Yeah, she's quick and she can get to the rim.
Yeah, like Shea and Svetlana did. Like, right now we're missing that. We're missing that wing person that just catches it on the break and attacks the basket.
You're finally playing her, so now she's getting minutes and she's getting the feel and confidence. And
well, the difference in our team is when we used to outlet the ball, and Shea and Svet, Keisha, you know, and those guys, you know, they catch it and take off. Now, you know, we get the ball and we outlet it, and we look, and Keisha and Renee and those guys.
You got to look down.
We can't see
them.
them.
Got to change the way you look. You just got to get your head
Well,
down.
you know, we got to.
Like you're looking under the dinner table.
We've had to work on our outlet passes. You know, now our outlet passes, you know, we're throwing the low outlet pass.
Well, a low point of the game the other night was at the end when Mel came down. We do have.
You do have that on film?
We do have that. Yeah, I typically don't like to watch
She's
this
trying
stuff.
to get a rebound, and she comes down on somebody's foot, and that was not good. And I could see.
Oh.
And apparently, what happened was,
Yeah.
see that when Mel does that, she's hurt.
Yeah. And
You
God
know.
bless her. She was laughing over there. I mean, she.
Yeah. When Mel does that, she's hurt. Because Mel hits the floor as much as anybody.
And when she gets up that quickly, and
Yeah.
oh, I hate watching this.
Well, I'm not going to watch it. But what she does is.
But see, we actually don't have.
Her heel.
Yeah, we don't have the actual shot of the
her
ankle.
heel landed on somebody's foot.
It looked like Sade, because Sade was right next to her, but it could have been the Syracuse kid. But we don't have a shot of her foot
Her
being
heel
twisted.
landed on somebody's foot, and then it kind of like, and it, it's just, so if this is your foot, sometimes most sprained ankles are like over here on this side.
Right.
Hers is like somewhere around here.
And those are
They
the
may-
high
sometimes
ankle
they
sprain are a little bit worse.
Yeah, it's not as high as they originally thought.
Oh, good.
And there's nothing fractured, which they were afraid because she was in a lot of pain. So she's definitely out
for the game
Marquette
after
game.
yeah for tonight's game.
And then Monday, I don't know. That's going to be tough, I don't know. I don't think Monday's a possibility either.
Really?
Mm-mm.
That's too bad.
That's just me thinking. But, we don't play again until the following Sunday.
So why
So
risk
it's not
it?
bad. It's not bad. Mhm.
Well, and hey, if anyone can get her ready, Rosemary Regal, your trainer, will do everything in her power.
Yeah. We
to
got
get her ready.
What's her name got hurt? Ann got hurt the last.
What's her name? Ann.
Yeah. Ann got hurt the last minute of practice. Just
Bizarre.
run down the floor, turn her ankle. And then the next day, Mel. So, that's part of basketball, and people have to step up and, but yeah, Rosemary will do
So
a good
who
job.
will start in place of Mel tonight against Marquette? What's your lineup going to be?
Well, Mel probably wouldn't have started anyway because we
course.
start the seniors.
Yeah.
We'll start the 4 seniors and Renee.
Okay. So that works out.
So that works out.
So who do you project will take her minutes?
I don't know. I think it depends on how people play. Could be Kalena and Nicole, Keisha. I mean, those are the obvious choices.
Right. Okay. So,
So we'll
talk
see.
a little bit about Marquette.
Well, the thing about Marquette is they're so balanced. Like they don't have anybody that's going to get 25 one night. They're very, very disciplined. They're very good defensively. They make it very difficult for you to get any kind of rhythm going on offense, and they're balanced on offense. It's they've got kids 14 points, 12 points, 8 points, 8.7 points. So you really don't have anybody that you have to shut down like some other team like Syracuse. You have to shut down a big kid, and then the rest is easy. And Terry Mitchell does a great job coaching them.
Yeah,
They've always been good. They've always been
she's
good.
been there for a while.
Yeah, they've always been good. So this is not going to be an easy senior night, especially without one of your better shooters.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we do, I'm happy to say, have questions.
Ask Geno.
All right, now, with your 2 fast guards, when they bring the ball down ahead of the rest of the team, do you try to slow them down or speed them up? Does it matter?
Well, ideally, you'd like to have people running ahead of the ball, but
That can be hard. Although your big guys run pretty well.
yeah. You don't ever want to slow anybody down unless it's a point in the game where you want to just kill some time off the clock. But generally, we're looking to score in transition as quickly as we can. And I think that's the best way to play basketball.
Right.
Score before they set up.
All right, I couldn't wait for this one. Every time I watch the Geno show, I keep telling my wife to look at Geno's arms, and I tell her that he lifts weights. This is comical. I also heard him say once that he works out in the morning, but that was it. Okay, Geno, what do you include in your workouts, and how many days a week? How do you get this?
Well,
It's about the size of mine. It might be bigger, actually.
okay. The preferred workout for this is
Macaroni?
pasta,
Yeah.
some steaks once in a while,
Yeah. A little red wine.
A little red wine on a regular basis. And
a lot of bread.
A lot of bread. And I am sort of on a no-carb thing.
You are?
No carbs after midnight. Up until then, anything goes. So my workouts have not
and
exactly
been. And
been
that's that reverse sit-up where you just kind of
legendary.
Yeah.
I do sit up. Sometimes I slouch.
You're sitting up now.
I'm sitting up now.
You're doing sit-ups.
I'm holding in my tummy right now as I speak. I'm not exactly a model for workouts.
You know, you used to run all the time.
I did.
But.
And I still try to get a couple in a week.
Yeah.
Not as many as I like. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and you have to do it. But
this morning I said I was going to get up and work out, and I didn't.
Yeah. I say that all the time.
It happens.
Tomorrow.
It does happen.
Tomorrow.
In the beginning of the season, Tahira Williams played a lot more than she is now. Why have her minutes dropped? She seems to do so well when she plays.
You know, she's young, inexperienced, and all that good stuff. And early in the season, it's a little bit easier. The teams we're playing allow for that to happen. As the season goes on, you know, it gets tougher and tougher. And, you know, believe it or not, you know, it's very difficult for freshmen to play at this level. And she's kind of in between positions, too. So
yeah.
she's got some work to do, but she'll be all right.
She's got a great attitude.
She does.
All right, now this question is regarding Sade, and with how many times she turns the ball over with traveling calls. I've never seen so many walk calls as I've seen on your team this year. That's me saying that, by the way. Is she nervous? Is she not sure what she's going to do with it? Is she just getting ahead of herself? What's the problem there? Because I mean, we know that she's so talented and can score at will, and it seems that sometimes she's not sure if she wants to try to pass it or shoot, and then it just
with Sade,
falls apart.
She's actually a pretty good passer.
She's a fabulous passer.
And obviously, she's a better shooter than people think. You know, she's a pretty good shooter.
Yeah.
And obviously, she can go to the basket as good as anyone. I think Sade runs into problems because most of the time, when she catches the ball, she really would. The best way for her not to turn the ball over would be if we passed her 3 basketballs at the same time. Then she could hurry up and shoot one, pass one, and drive one to the basket. Because with one, there's just so many choices and so little time.
You are insane. Okay, the next one. Do you think some refs favor one team over the other?
Yeah, usually the other team.
Yeah, we haven't had Sally Bell a lot on the.
Why, Sally Bell's not a bad official.
No, it was funny that I thought of her.
That you brought that up.
But I just thought Sally Bell has not been around much this year.
No, she's probably doing Southeast Conference games. She does the Tennessee games twice a week.
Oh, okay.
I don't think officials favor anybody. They favor usually the team that's playing the best.
Yeah.
If you're playing hard and you're playing aggressively and you're, you know, getting after it and you're not complaining about stuff, then you get the benefit of the doubt. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
My guys complain. First we foul people and then we complain.
Yeah.
Referees hate that.
Yeah, it is annoying.
It is. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I tell them to shut up. Like,
you complain a lot.
We'll smack somebody and then we'll look at the ref. What?
Barbara did that the other night, and I made a comment about it. Yeah.
What? I mean, I only hit her a little bit. Then when we shoot and don't get a foul call, we complain that there wasn't a foul call. We want it both ways. You know?
Here's another question. Can you wear a pink tie to the next game to show that you care for your fans? Is that a sign of caring?
Pink? I don't know. I mean, I guess I could. I don't know.
Just a question.
I don't know if all the guys in the audience would join me and wear pink.
Very secure men wear pink.
Maybe I'll wear a pink shirt.
Okay, that's you know why, it's bigger. There's more, so you care more.
Yeah.
And it's very big to cover the belly.
Just to let everyone know, I wear pink. Just how sensitive I am towards women.
All right, very good. Recruiting has been such a huge success at UConn. Do you have a philosophy about recruiting that you go by? What else besides academics and basketball skill do you look for in a player? I would hope you.
That's about it when you think about it.
No, you don't want a jerk.
No, of course you don't. But I was telling somebody when I first got the job, we had really, really good students who happened to play basketball.
Yeah.
Now the object is to find great basketball players who happen to be really good students. You know, if it's the other way around, then, you know, we will win every debate, but we won't win any basketball games. So obviously you look for really good basketball players who are good students, who are good kids, you know, who work hard, and all that other stuff. And, you know, 90% of the time at Connecticut, we've been right.
Yeah,
the other
that's true.
10%, we've screwed it up. We've made a lot of mistakes.
Well, I guess it stands to reason you can't. I mean, there's a lot of kids that come through. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And you've been pretty lucky, I think.
More so than most people. I mean, you know.
All right. Well, we're just about out of questions. I can't believe it.
That's hard to believe.
Time flies.
Not even any dumb ones.
No.
They were all pretty good.
And no dumb answers, really. Well, that's it. We're going to take a break for a minute, but we will be back, so don't go anywhere.
Audience.
Welcome back. Here we are. It just gets better and better. Can you stand it?
That's why I'm sitting down. I can't stand it.
Well, now we would like to focus a little bit on this year's senior class.
This being senior night.
This being senior night.
I think it would be very
coming
appropriate.
up right after this show.
Right
and
after the
all
show.
the emotion and the pomp.
Yeah.
And the ceremony.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about.
Do you know?
Wow.
Do you know that at the Big East coaches meetings last spring, one of the coaches in the league brought up that senior night is too long?
Your senior night?
Yeah. And that they wanted a rule in the league to have a limit on how long senior night can be. That should be standard throughout the league. Because most
can't
other
do
places
that.
in senior night, they go, we have 4 seniors tonight, thank you, and then we start the game. And because of what we do, one team said, we have to wait too long and it throws us off.
You can't tell us who it was?
No, but usually we beat them by 40.
Oh, okay. Sure, okay.
So they should be happy that they don't get out on the court that quickly.
They can go sit in the locker room.
Well, that's what I said. But well, by the way, we stay, I don't care how long senior night is. When we're on the road, like Monday night, we'll be on the road for Rutgers.
is there
I don't care how
senior?
long it lasts. We're going to sit there on the bench and watch it.
Right.
I mean, I want to be there to see those kids. I mean, they've had a great career.
Right.
Why would I want my kids to sit in the locker room? And why would I want anybody cheated? Now they'll say, why don't you do it after the game? And that's not a bad way to go, you know. So maybe we'll have to do it after the game. Make everybody stay. We can let the kids talk. You know, thank you very much. You know, it's not a bad way to go.
There's an interesting
That's a thought.
Interesting thought. Well, while the ceremony is going on, what is going through your mind? Or is it blank like it is right now?
Well, most senior nights is not really senior night.
Right.
Because,
It's more for the fans.
yeah, and you're not going to, yeah, it's not like the last game you're going to play. Now, in this particular case, it's their last game at Gamble. That's it.
Holy God, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I remember going back to that night, and to think that it's your last
Yeah.
game in Gamble, that's huge.
Yeah, and usually it happens in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have senior night, but then they know there's another game coming up. So really, the last game.
So you won't have a game at Gamble
No,
in the NCAA tournament?
the NCAA tournament, we're on the road this year. First 2 games.
That's right.
If we win both. Then we come back and we're in Bridgeport. But anyway, the senior night, the parents, the kids, the fans, the team, everybody gets a chance to like reflect back on what the 4 years were like for the kids. And it's different for every player. They each experience their own different kinds of emotions. It's different for the parents. You know, no 2 sets of parents are alike. You know, in their response. There's a common thread, though. They know that, you know, their days of coming to games are over, and they're going on to the next phase of their life as well.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
it's hard
everybody
for
thinks,
a lot
well,
of
the kids are
parents.
moving on. So are the parents.
Yeah, I mean,
You know-
think about all the parents over the years. Like
Yeah.
of most recent memory, whether it's Tim and Marie Conlin or Nancy Bird and Dennis Burden, they were there. They got to be really good friends with everybody, and then
Yeah,
it all abruptly ends.
Tahira's parents have driven up to every single game.
Have they really?
Every
From
single
Jersey?
game from New Jersey. And I'm sure.
And they'll do that for 4 years.
And they'll do that for 4 years. And they have a
then,
son who plays football at Maryland, and they'll drive down there every Saturday to watch him play. And then once that's over and the kids graduate, not only are the kids moving on, but now the parents, they've got to find something else to do those
yeah.
those
I know
days
it was
and
hard
nights.
for my parents because
sure
they
it was.
came up to just about every
Yeah,
game
yeah.
from Pennsylvania, and then when it ended,
Yeah.
there was a huge void. Like, all right, what do we do now?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And that's, you know, that's that night, you know, when you're moving on. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not that much different when, you know, your kids get married and they leave.
Right.
You know, you say, okay, well, that phase of our lives is over,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's time to go on to the next one. And as a coach, you know, you're generally pretty. You know, you've already thought it out, and you know, all right, this is it. It's that time.
Right.
You don't go, oh, I wish these guys weren't leaving. It's that time.
Yeah. And they all leave, so you have to.
It's that time.
It's a natural progression.
Time
of
to move
things.
on. That's right. Time to move on.
All right. Well, let's talk about the seniors. You know, we can start with Nicole Wolf, who unfortunately had her career kind of derailed a little bit by injuries, but who's been a big part of the team anyway.
Yeah, I think we're so used to everybody going at senior night and thinking it's all roses and, you know, peaches and cream and all those other sayings, and it's not. You know.
It's not always perfect for everybody.
No, and you can't predict. You know, I saw something the other day that said, wouldn't it be great if we could see into the future? No, because then there'd be no mystery. There'd be no living your life and experiencing the ups and downs. You would already know. So we don't know. And in Nicole's case, she was in a situation that she couldn't control and had no control over, and it didn't work out the way we had planned. Me, her, family, everybody.
Unfortunately, that's life.
But that's, you know, for her to be part of 2 national championship teams, and, you know, to get a great education and to be, you know, involved in something like this is something that's going to hopefully be a big part of her life, which I'm sure it is.
She could have had a lot worse college experience.
Yeah,
you know.
it could have been obviously a lot better.
Yeah.
But there's always a different side to it.
What do you think this night will mean to her? Because she did make the decision to not come back.
Yeah, well, a lot of that decision is probably based on, you know, her emotionally. You feel like that's it. I don't know exactly what she'll be thinking, but you know, I remember when Shay decided to come back for an extra year, I thought, boy, I hope this works out, because it's not always easy. Whereas with with Jessica Moore and AB, I knew it was going to be easy for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure Nicole thought it over and said, I've had 4 years. I've done what I needed to do academically. It's time to move on.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise that she made that decision.
No, not at all.
And it's a good decision for her, I think.
I think it is. I think it is.
Well, she made it, so it's the right one.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it was
Once you
all
make
her.
it,
Yeah.
you know, you can either make it the wrong one or make it the right one. So you made the decision. Now make it the right decision.
All right. So now Wilnette Crockett. Talk a little bit about Will and her 4 years here, and
I think Will will. If you ask me to pick somebody who will break down,
yeah.
I'll pick Will, because she's so close to her family, and she's such a sensitive kid, you know, that I think if you were to ask me which of the 4 is going to have the hardest time emotionally, I would say it's going to be Will. And that's Will. You know, she's been on that roller coaster for 4 years where, you know, when she's up, she's really up and she's doing things. And when she's down, she's as down as anybody I've ever been around, you know. So for her, she's, you know, every time Will goes home to visit her parents at Christmas time, I know it's going to be like 3 weeks before we get her back. You know, because she's so connected to her family, and this is going to be a pretty emotional night for her. And you know,
Are her parents coming?
oh,
Anyone
yeah, I think,
else?
yeah, everybody's coming. Yeah, everybody's coming. And I think that's one of the beauties of it. You know, remember Svetlana, they only got to see, one night, and the poor kid couldn't play that night. But, having your family there is probably the biggest thing, and being able to, thank them for, allowing you to be in that situation.
Sure.
Will's best basketball is going to be in the next month.
You think so?
Yep. I
That's
believe
pretty
that.
good timing.
Yep. Will's always had pretty good timing.
Does she have bruises all over her body?
The other night was unbelievable, wasn't it?
She looked at one point against Syracuse that she was diving into home plate,
Yeah.
and the ball was about a foot off the ground, and
Yeah.
she knocked it away and created the steal.
Yeah.
But she
It
had
was
to.
we were pressing, and there was a kid wide open at the back of the press because Will had took a chance on trying to steal the ball from another kid, and she came flying down, and it was like going after a fumble in football. She just dove head first.
Unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable play. Unbelievable play.
You would think that that she was on grass and not on hard wood.
Yeah, she's always on. Well, she has size 4 feet. She's got the smallest feet of anybody on our team, but it's probably the most sensitive kid on that team.
Any thoughts on what she's going to do in the future? Do you know?
I think she'd like to take a chance and play, but if you asked her now, she would probably say, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Do you think she'll go back to California to be near her family, or?
But good chance. Good chance.
What's her major? I can't remember.
Sociology?
Does she have any? Has she indicated to you any interest that she have or may want to do?
No, I don't know that.
A lot of times it's hard for kids to even know at that age.
They all have these ideas, but they're not quite sure.
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of time.
Yeah.
My recommendation, not that it mattered, to Nicole Wolf was stay in college as long as you can. Put off the real world as long as possible.
I think she wants to go to work. She has a.
That shows you how much more mature she is than I
She'll have
was.
a business and marketing degree, and she wants to go into, work for some sort of sports-related corporation and get on with her life and start, it's not nice kids, start making your own money, live on your own, do your own thing. I think that's a good way to go.
It is a good way to go. It's not all it's cracked up to be, though.
No.
The no responsibility of college is pretty good.
Oh, I tell them when they look miserable at practice, I say, guys, you got to better lighten up because this is as good as it gets.
Oh, it is.
It's all downhill
doubt.
from here.
It's true. Barbara Turner.
Barbara Turner. Barbara's pretty much, but I think Barbara's going to play great. I think Barbara's going to be.
She's playing just really well right now at this point in her career.
She's going to have that high energy, high emotion kind of thing. She's going to be really, really off the charts in terms of her emotional state. And I worry about her being like over the edge that way because she's going to try to, get 50 and make sure that everything works perfect. And but Barbara's another one who's had 4 very difficult years with injuries and a lot of setbacks. And when she's been able to play free and clear, she's had a great career.
Yeah.
I mean, fabulous career. And you say, well, what would she have been if she hadn't, had that rod in her leg for all those years and all those crazy injuries that she had? We'll never know.
Yeah,
we'll never know.
that's
But
just the way it happened.
She's had a great career, and
Would you say she's changed more than the other kids here in this class?
I would say she's probably gone through the biggest transformation. I mean, in terms of as an individual, as a player, and coming from high school where she was all things to everybody, and now being part of a group, where she has to blend in her talents with everybody else.
Because when she got here, scoring was very important to her, and now the biggest thing I've noticed this senior year for her is that scoring has become something that's not very important. And she just wants to do what she needs to do to help the team win, and that shows a lot of maturity.
It's still something that she has to do because we need it.
No doubt.
It can't be like if I'm not scoring, I'm not happy.
Right.
There's a lot of ways to impact the game. That's just one of the ways. And the other day in the second half, she started making shots. And you know why? Because she started offensive rebounding. She started defensive rebounding. She started being more active.
Right.
Whereas in the first half, she was like, waiting for the ball so she could score. Well, that's never going to happen. So the more things you do, the more you end up having chances to score. So I think Barbara's going to play great. And hey, it's ironic. These 4 seniors are the key. They're the key.
Yeah. Well, talking about the key, I think the key maybe to this class, and people have talk the most about Ann Struther. She's had the most injury-free career.
For the most part.
For the most part. I mean, it's ironical that she just twisted her ankle this week, but or last week. What is today? Oh, Saturday. This airs for Saturday, so she did it early in the week.
Yeah.
You know, she came in as the best high school player in the country. Has she lived up to the billing in your eyes?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people don't understand that when you get to college, there's a limit to how far you're going to be able to go. A lot of that is your physical makeup. You know, somebody like Sue Bird can go as far as she wants to go because the position that she's playing only requires her to be exactly the way she is. She don't have to change much. Diana, same way. You know, Swin, the same way. You know, for Ann, if she was a little bit small, if she was 3 inches smaller, she'd be a better player. If she was 3 inches taller, she'd be a better player. She's in that 6'2", 6'3" range where she's not really a guard, she's not really a forward. You know,
she does a little bit of both.
She's not quick enough to be a guard. Like if she was built like Svetlana, it'd be different. But or Shea, but she's not. You know, she's built like Sue, but she's 6'3".
Yeah.
So she can't play inside because they beat her up.
Right.
And outside, the quick guys take advantage of her. So she's kind of stuck in that middle ground, and she's, I think, maximized her ability in that area.
Yeah, she's done a heck of a job.
And that's why she and Diana are the only two that have accomplished some of those numbers, you know, 1,500 points and 100 blocks and steals and rebounds
and assists.
Assists, the whole thing. Because she, like you say, well, what's Ann Struther great at? You know, she's pretty great at making a great play when we need it.
Yeah. Over the years, she's certainly done that. I mean, if you look at her season numbers, to shoot 84% from the line, 43% from the floor, and 38% from three-point range. And yet there are so many people out there. I actually had someone say to me recently that they're disappointed because she never lived up to the hype coming in. And I said, well, do you have any idea what her numbers are?
Yeah, I mean.
But people seem to focus on what she doesn't do.
Well, you can do that with anybody.
But for some reason, people seem to choose Ann more than any other player that I can remember.
Well, the disappointing thing is that when Diana was here for 2 years, everybody knew that Ann was like a really, really, really good player.
Yeah.
And that every big game she would make a big play. What isn't really easy to define is, are you able then to take over that role?
Right.
And that's not Ann's personality.
Well, I was just going to say her personality is as such that.
Nor her makeup as a player.
Right.
It's not. Right. So I'm okay with that.
Right.
You know, people
who understand.
You know, we had Sue, Asia, Tamika, and Swin. You know who the high school player of the year was in that crowd? Tamika Williams.
Tamika, yeah.
Well, nobody understands that.
Yeah.
Because Tamika Williams had a great career. As good as Swin? No. As good as Asia? No. As good as Sue Bird? No. But she was the high school player of the year coming out of high school.
Right. Doesn't always translate to after 4 years in college.
No, that doesn't mean you had a bad career.
Right.
Tamika's personality wasn't, I'm going to be the best player on the team.
She wanted to do whatever she needed to do.
She wanted to be like one of the other guys, which is okay.
Right.
As long as you got Sue and Swin, you know, and Dee and those guys. So if,
that's very helpful.
Yeah, yeah. So Ann is one of those guys who's, you know, going to be, like, she's going to be a great pro. Because she'll be like the third or fourth best option on offense.
Right.
And it'll be great for her.
Now, do you see her playing, you know, you were saying how she's a tweener. What position at that level do you see her playing?
Small forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will that be
Because she'll
difficult?
be able to score.
But then how about on the other end, guarding some of those guys?
Doesn't matter.
Why? Because they don't play defense? Like,
No,
what is this,
they
the NBA?
do. They do. They do. But it doesn't matter. There's always some kid on the other team that can't score. And just put her on that kid. There's a lot of kids in the WNBA that can't score, you know.
I realize this.
Otherwise, the scores wouldn't be 55 to 50.
You mean they're not just great defensive battles?
No. There's a lot of kids in that league that can't score.
All right, so it's another. Now, Ann will go on. You think Ann and Barbara will go on to play in the WNBA?
I mean,
Maybe will.
There's a chance. I mean, obviously, Ann and Barbara are going to get drafted
I talk to people, and obviously that's going to happen. Where, I don't know yet. And Will has a chance because anybody in their right mind would love to have her coming off the bench, even if it's your 11th and 12th man. Somebody's hurting you, and you say, Will, listen,
the
go out
enforcer,
there and foul that kid 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And she's going to play defense, and she's going to rebound.
Yeah.
So, and every coaches at the pro level love guys who don't bitch and moan about having to get the ball.
Right, and needing to score.
They love guys like that.
Yeah, because there's so many who just want to score.
Like the guy that plays on the Pistons, Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
All he does is play defense and rebound and block shots. And they love him.
Yeah.
Now, if he demanded the ball all the time, that's less shots for the other guys who can really score.
Right.
So Will would be a great guy to have on the team.
All right, very good.
Provided you already have a good team. She's not
Sure.
going to make your team better, I don't think. But she'd be a great guy. And then Ann and Barbara, I think, can play certain roles. And I think that's one of the reasons Barbara's doing what she's doing. Because I said to her, you're not going to be the best player on your team next year. Matter of fact, you won't even be the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th best player on your team. So you have to learn how to be one of those role players. And I think that's what she's doing right now.
All right, very good. Well, listen, I hate to say it, folks, we are out of time. Before we go, I do want to say hello to our very special friend, 85-year-old Judge Troop, who always writes. Judge, thank you for writing. Harriet wants me to give you a special hello as well.
What kind of judge?
I don't know. I don't know. He's retired.
Oh.
Army. But stay tuned. We do have the senior night ceremonies coming up. Please stay tuned for that very emotional and lovely evening at Gamble Pavilion. And now we're going to take a look back at last year's senior class, which is always exciting. But don't forget, after the game, we'll have a special tribute to the class of 2006. So please stay tuned for that after the game. Enjoy, and we'll see you very soon. We've got one more show, so the fun continues.
Next year is no senior, so you better enjoy this one.